Wow.
So for me, it's the amalgamation.
Sounds
of
a
the
little
foods.
gross to me, but
No, it's phenomenal. All right, anybody else who can relate to that? It's on Thanksgiving Day. It's all of it.
I mean,
You can't separate.
okay, but the cranberry sauce in that bite.
Yeah, big time. With the gravy, big time.
That sounds so gross. The first time, I think she accidentally turned on the oven with a plastic bowl in it, and the bowl just melted. This is what I was
It'd be
8
like the
months
month
pregnant.
of June, and she's outside, and we had this slope in our front yard in Texas, and she's pushing the lawnmower, mowing the front lawn. My 8-month pregnant wife and our neighbors are looking at you.
They think that
thinking,
you're terrible
What a
because
horrible husband she has, who just neglects, and I'm just at work. What's going on, guys? Ginger and Jeremy here, and we're making progress.
yeah. Welcome to our newly designed studio.
It's not fully designed yet. We're probably going to swap out some of this furniture,
We'll see. Yeah.
and we've got to add, different things. I think we're going to have some shelves, and
Some
we
fun
might
stuff.
get a different coffee table.
Yeah, you guys will see the transformation. We still have all of our boxes set over to the side because we're not sure what all we're keeping, what we're going to get rid of.
But what we are keeping for sure is the painting. I mean, the Roman clay paint looks incredible. And so it's a work in progress. We're getting there with the studio. I'm excited about the studio, though, because having this set up means you and I can come up here anytime if we get inspiration.
Makes it easier, yeah, especially with the kiddos, like not having to set up and break down every little thing.
Yep.
Move furniture around in the living room. It's just nice. And this is like a quiet space kind of away from a lot of the house. I guess our kids' toy room, like playroom, is right below us. So we'll find out how well insulated this
could be a
room
problem for the
actually
babysitters
is.
some days.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's looking good. Speaking of looking good, it is good looking. I like that sweatshirt.
You're so nice. Yeah, it's from the Bates Sisters Boutique. This is not sponsored, but
Game day.
I'm just going to throw it out there.
It is game day.
Yeah, game day.
Talking about game day, we want to talk about on this episode, I know we're a week after, but Thanksgiving. And kind of like a Thanksgiving recap. And I say game day because the Chicago Bears lost to the Detroit Lions.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, big time. Detroit Lions play every Thanksgiving. And I know you don't check into the football, but
I actually do like some football. See, I love going to football games.
College football games, right?
College football. Yeah. Because that's just what I grew up watching, and that was like one of the only sports that I actually got. I could understand it.
Do the Woo Pig Suey chant.
Really? Right now?
Do it.
Like, woo pig suey.
Yeah, that's good.
Okay. Yeah, that's so great. No one's going to understand what that is. They're
Sounds
going to think
better
it's a weird
with
chant.
30,000 other people doing it.
Yeah, it does. It does. Definitely. So, but you were talking about game day.
Yeah, well, for me, Thanksgiving is game day because it's a big holiday, and I love that holiday. I don't think it's a secret. It revolves around food, family, and Thanksgiving. And so today we'll talk about Thanksgiving. I want to get to some things that we're grateful for and get into all of that and get into what we did on Thanksgiving. But first, there's a couple things we got to check in on. One is, I'm trying to remember. Oh, yeah, your book. We got to do a little book plug. You've got a book coming out in January.
I do. I have a book coming out. It's People Pleaser. It'll be out January 14th, wherever books are sold.
And you can pre-order now, so that's the cool thing.
Go ahead and pre-order.
Yeah.
And I recorded the audiobook already, so that is in the works, getting ready to be released to you all in January.
And let me just say this about Ginger and audiobooks. You do not like reading out loud.
I hate it. And I think it is because I have slight dyslexia, I'm pretty certain.
Sure.
So it's really difficult for me to read. But once the audiobook is done and it's out to you, it's a labor of love. And so if it gets to you, I'm like, it is work for me to do that, to read aloud. Like I can read to myself just fine. But reading aloud, like getting the words out that I see, is always a challenge. So anyhow, but they edit. That's what editing's for. In the book, like no one has ever commented on how difficult, it sounds like, for me to like.
Right.
I don't know. The recording process is tough, but the editors make it all sound good.
Well, no, you do a good job, but it is a labor of love because I know it's important for you to give the book to your readers in your voice. Mm-hmm. I know because they give you the option if you'd like someone to read it.
Yeah.
And every book you've done, even though you don't enjoy the process, you've said, no, I want to read it in my voice.
Yeah.
So that they can hear the words on the page coming from you.
Yes, I think any of the audiobooks that I've listened to, I think that it is just much more special, and it hits different when it is the author reading it. And so that's why, in spite of the challenges to get there, I've always done it. And yeah, sometimes the second I get in the chair, I'm like, why did I do this? Why did I do this? And then once it's done, you just feel like relief, done.
It's a pretty rigorous process. 2 or 3 days of 8 hours of reading.
Yeah. And especially, like I said, for someone who is not the best reader aloud, it is very tough. And my brain is like fried. After I'm done, I come home. My sister-in-law, Val, was over, and she was like hanging with our kids for a couple days because you were working. And then I was working on the book, doing the audiobook, and she was here. She cleaned our house. She made us dinner that night. And I was like, this is so nice. I was like, I just, when you come back home and you literally have just been using so much brain power all day, I just was so thankful to come home to a clean house and a delicious meal that she made. So it was awesome. Nice.
So check out the book. You can pre-order People Pleaser, Breaking Free from the Burden of Imaginary Expectations. You can pre-order on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Books A Million.
Yeah, wherever books are sold.
So that's one plug. Oh, the other thing I was going to mention is we met a really sweet girl, came up to us in the grocery store while we were shopping on Thanksgiving morning. And she said, I listen to your podcast.
Yeah, that was really sweet. She came and said hello, grabbed a quick picture. And if you guys ever see us in public, you can come say hi. We like it. We like to meet people who have followed our journey or just, are new to the podcast or whatever.
And it's cool to know they're connected with the podcast too.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people have seen you on the show, but then for them to say, connect us with the podcast is pretty cool. So
yeah, it was super fun.
But you, after recording an audiobook and then doing a weekly podcast, are probably sick of your own voice. But I'm not.
I don't listen to it. So somebody asked me that. Oh, the audio engineer, Robbie, was like, hey, will you listen to this after it's recorded? He said, do you listen to your audiobook? And I was like, no way. There's no way I'm turning that thing back on, because listening to your own voice is it's just not nice. I don't like to listen to my own voice. I'm like one and done. So with podcast stuff, with that, even with the show, like watching it back, it's just weird for all those years.
Well, we talked about it on I think last week's episode about rewatching our wedding. And even, I know it was 8 years ago, but listening to how we sounded, and especially me, I was like, why was I talking like that? It is painful. It's like nails on a chalkboard to hear yourself.
Totally. Yeah, but okay. So for Thanksgiving, what was your favorite part? Like, walk us through the day. What did we do? What did we do to get ready for it? Because we were hosting.
Yeah, that was a big part. We were hosting, but it wasn't a crazy amount of people, was it? It was small. It was intimate. We had one family who's really dear friends, and then a couple others, like my mom and dad and my sister were here, and we had our friend Josh come over, and so what is it? More than 15 people.
Yeah, probably like 10 or 11 adults.
Yeah,
it was a good
so it was really small. It was intimate, which is nice. It feels less stressful, although it's just less. There's less chaos, which can sometimes be fun at Thanksgiving.
Yeah, I feel like holidays. I like it when holidays have a little bit of chaos around them, as far as like people, hustle and bustle.
Yeah,
that's kind of my favorite vibe.
Right,
and I think it's because that's I don't know. Maybe for me too, it's just what I grew up with is people everywhere on holidays, like aunts and uncles coming over, people popping in throughout the day, and it just feels right. Yeah. So I feel like the more the merrier. That's kind of how I like to roll. But when you're cooking and there's a lot of dishes that need to happen, it's kind of nice when you can sit down and have like a proper meal and have nice dishes out and stuff like that. So I actually realized I need to buy some nicer dishes. I only had our classic IKEA plates that are just the white ones. Yeah. They're nice.
Well, part of it though is our kitchen is still in flux.
Yeah, it is. It's getting there. But that was one thing. But then just throughout the years, I haven't ever really had a nice set of dishes that I have a full set. So like your mom gave us china that had pumpkins on it. It's like a fall theme. And I think we have 6 of those plates. And those are really nice. So I would pull those out for nicer events. So I pulled them out for Thanksgiving, and I was like, how can we use these? because we don't have enough for everyone. So we just did every other plate, like a fine china plate, and then like an IKEA plate. We made it work. It looked pretty. The table looked really gorgeous. So this Christmas, wrap the ones you love in luxury with Cozy Earth. I'm telling you, the past couple weeks, we were talking about wanting to upgrade our sheets. Jeremy and I had talked about for a long time. His goal was to have our sheets feel like a luxury hotel. And anyhow, we were on the market for some, and we found Cozy Earth. And as soon as we slipped into those sheets, I told him, I was like, we need these for every room in our house.
It's unbelievable. So comfortable. Cozy Earth sheets, they've changed our lives.
Yeah, I think that they are going to definitely be some gifts for family members and friends in this holiday season. The sheets we love are called the Bamboo Sheet Set. Everyone knows that a silent night starts with the right sheets. Cozy Earth's Bamboo Sheet Set is the ultimate gift this holiday season, elevating everyday luxury into something everyone will use and absolutely adore. It's the gift of unparalleled comfort, making every night feel like a serene escape.
Or if you want to get a gift for the wife, the women's stretch knit long sleeve bamboo pajama set is unbelievable. I probably shouldn't be talking about the gift that I want to get Ginger in front of Ginger, but it doesn't matter because they're so comfortable that whether you're surprised or not, you'll love them. The holidays are best spent lounging at home in the most comfortable pajamas imaginable. Everyone knows that. And Cozy Earth's pajamas are designed for those cherished moments of relaxation, ensuring that you feel cozy and stylish all season long.
Want your Cozy Earth pajamas or sheets by Christmas? Order by December 13th for free shipping.
And if you missed the December 13th deadline, it's okay. You can still get expedited shipping by December 20th to ensure it arrives on time. Don't wait. Head to cozyearth.com/ginger and use our exclusive 40% off code GINGER in all caps to give the gift of luxury this holiday season. If you get a post-purchase survey, say that you heard about Cozy Earth from this podcast. We'd love that. Enjoy. Well, that was a big part of the preparation, was where we all going to sit and eat.
Yeah.
Because our dining room table fits about 8 or so.
Mm-hmm.
But we didn't want people in different places of the house. And so actually the playroom below this is quite large. And so we have this massive wood table that the owners of our previous house made.
It is so solid. I mean, this thing is
huge.
not going anywhere.
No. And
it's not meant to be moved.
Our friend Josh, my dad, and me
and
carried
Val.
it in. But then, we had to like
employ
halfway
Val.
through, we're screaming, Val, come on.
You're like, somebody else help. And I feel so useless right now in this stage. I don't know. I feel like I can lift, but my strength is not what it should be. I should be working out like throughout the pregnancy. So I feel more weak. I'm like, why can I not lift anything?
That's not entirely true. I need to let you in on some truth about Ginger being pregnant. Pregnant Ginger. There's a side to pregnant Ginger that comes out where, so you get restless when you're pregnant.
Very.
And she starts wanting to do tasks around the house. And this started getting me in trouble with your first pregnancy with Felicity back in Texas.
Yeah.
Where she'd be sitting at home, I'd be at church studying or working or whatever. And she's like 6 or 7 months pregnant, so visibly pregnant. And she would go outside and when was Felicity born? Yeah, summer. So it was
July.
It was like a June.
This was when I was 8 months pregnant. It would be like the month of June.
And she's outside, and we had this slope in our front yard in Texas, and she's pushing the lawnmower, mowing the front lawn. My 8-month pregnant wife and our neighbors are looking at you.
They think that you're terrible because
what a horrible husband she has who just neglects. And I'm just at work, but you get restless and go out and do stuff.
I have to do projects. And so if I'm not moving, I get sad about it. So like, even if I'm not working out, that's part of it. I want to do things. I don't want to feel like I can't. But that was stupid because it was so hot out there. God protected Felicity because it was boiling. And I was like, well, I want to mow the grass. I'm going to mow the grass. And so I did. But it was like I was drenched in sweat. And I was super pregs. And so everybody, didn't somebody drive by and say something?
I have no idea, but
I thought somebody drove by and said something as I was mowing.
Where's your husband?
Yeah, they said something like that whenever I was mowing the lawn once, but I don't know if it was like in June or July. But I was like, I want to do it. I want to do it.
So this last one, we're putting up Christmas lights, and Ginger ran to the office for like 45 minutes to do something. To like write an email or something. And I came back all prepared to do it. And it's 3/4 of the way done. And Ginger's up there on the ladder. Now, it wasn't a tall ladder.
It was drizzling that day, too.
It was like
That's the
3
problem.
feet. But
I was just up on a ladder and
Ginger.
yeah, I don't know.
You
It
can
was
take the
fine.
girl out of Arkansas. You cannot take Arkansas out of the girl.
It was fun though. See, like projects like that are fine. I just feel like I'm not as strong as I want to be in this pregnancy. So I need to be working out. And I thought about like, oh, should I join a fitness class? But who has time for that? You have to get out of the house, go somewhere. And then I probably just wouldn't do it in pregnancy.
We'll put you into Zumba.
After, like postpartum, I want to do a fitness class out of the house. But
Okay.
right now, I don't know. Projects are good.
It's good to know. All that to say, you could have easily helped us carry this wood table inside the house. But
I know.
don't let her fool you. She's not just sitting around twiddling her thumbs. So we get this table inside, and it is 1,000 pounds. It's got to be.
It's
So
so
it came
heavy.
apart in 3 different sections.
Oh, yeah.
But it was massive. And my dad's 73 years old, and I'm like, Dad, I'm not wanting him to pull out his back.
He is very strong, though.
Oh, he's fit, works out every day.
all the time.
But this thing was massive. So we get it inside. We still haven't moved it out, by the way, have we?
I have not. This is terrible. We are so many days removed from Thanksgiving. The table's down there. The tablecloths are on it.
It still looks ready for Thanksgiving dinner.
It's great. I think I should wash those tablecloths. It's great. They're there. Everything's
It's for
down
leftovers.
There. It's just because we were busy afterwards, and
Yeah.
we've been going. And so today, as I walked up here, I was just looking at that, and I was like, it's time. I need to clean up this room. I need to get everything back in order.
Yeah.
And we're gonna have to like invite some friends over to help us move that thing.
Seriously. Or Mason, you can help me.
We'll have him, put him to work.
Our producer Mason's a big boy. He's
gonna help.
Jacked. He'll help us move it. I'll just watch him move it by himself. Okay, so that was preparation. But then we ran to the grocery store because there was last minute things. You were not cooking. Oh, my word.
So I was not cooking hardly anything. I was
just going to say you weren't cooking the turkey this year, but you had stuff going.
I didn't cook the turkey. I didn't cook the sides because Jared's mom and sister were in town. Well, I mean, his sister lives here, but like his mom was here. And then Val said to not worry about it. Your sister, she was like, I'll help with all these sides and stuff. And she has a gift of cooking like gourmet foods. She'll find the night that I came back from the book recording, whatever, I came in to this gorgeous salmon dinner, and it had like all this garnish on top, and then she had root vegetables that she had like roasted, and she had a salad and like all this stuff. And I said, Val, where did you get that? Did you go out shopping and like get all this food for us? She's like, no, this was in your freezer. This was, over here. She throws the most random things together and makes it look like a gourmet meal. So that's what she did for Thanksgiving. She just came in and like mom had bought all these groceries, and she and mom worked, just threw everything together. So they insisted on making most of the sides and food, which was such a blessing because I was not in pregnancy. I really, really don't love cooking. So that's one thing that I still do. I will cook, but I don't love it. So anytime somebody else says that they want to make a meal or cook something, I am so excited. I'm so excited that they take it over. So, and then our friends brought a really yummy turkey. And then I just decided to make my mom's famous yeast rolls. It's a recipe that she got from her old neighbor, but like I just call it my mom's because we've had it for ages. She would make these yeast rolls, like tons of them. Usually like they'd start the day before Thanksgiving or the day before Christmas or before my dad's birthday, and make a whole massive, like just batches of them. And that and pumpkin pies. My mom has her famous crust. Yes. And then she would use like Libby's pie filling, but it could not be the kind with seasoning in it. Had to be just plain pumpkin. And then she put all the spices because the spices can get weird if you do them wrong. So she was very, very good about making all that stuff. So I thought, you know what? I'm not making all the other dishes. I'm going to make my mom's rolls. But I forgot to go to the store before Thanksgiving and get it. And I forgot to get a tablecloth.
Oh, yeah.
So that morning, I woke up, I feel like I woke up at 3 a.m., 5 a.m., and I was like, dang it, I didn't get groceries. And then half the stores were closed. And the stores that had like tablecloths, there were no stores open, like TJ Maxx, Walmart, Target, Costco. None of
Gosh,
those
they all
stores
let
were
their
open.
employees have a Thanksgiving. It's
I
terrible.
know. What a shame. No, actually, I was very happy for them. But this is me procrastinating, which is what I do best. So I was thinking, I don't have any tablecloth. I'm not prepared. This is terrible. This is the one thing I was supposed to do. So Jeremy and I ran out. The kiddos were just chilling with grandma and grandpa. And we went out and got all the ingredients for rolls. And then we also got charcuterie stuff. And it was great. We made it happen.
Well, talk about those rolls, because didn't you say one year, was it you or Jana took 9
Jana.
times?
Jana. Yeah, I don't think she minds me telling this story. Jana, do you mind? But no, I'm kidding. She doesn't. She went to make those rolls, and it's not the hardest recipe, but it's pretty straightforward. But at the same time, you're pulling the rolls in and out of like a cold oven. So like you'll do the cold oven or like slightly warm. You put it back in, take it out, put it back in, take it out. And then the final time you put it in, you have to turn on the oven to like whatever temp you're going to bake it at. So it's like, I don't know. It's just a lot of like just in and out of the oven. So she went to make these rolls, and the first time I think she accidentally turned on the oven with a plastic bowl in it, and the bowl just melted into the oven. And then the next time I think she forgot the yeast, so they didn't rise. Then she forgot was it her or was it someone else who used powdered sugar instead of flour?
Oh my goodness.
It was an accident. So yeah, we had a lot of issues. She finally got it made. And I want to say it was 9 times of trying that same day or the next day. She tried so many times. And she's such a good cook. Like, she's the one who never messes up. She can make any dish, and she's such a good cook. But something happened that year. I think she just was juggling all these dishes, and every time she put the rolls in, they got ruined.
That's really funny.
She is determined, though. That girl will not stop. It's the same with a project. Anything that she puts her hand to, she's not going to stop.
Yeah.
So
I'm glad
way to
she
go,
kept
Jana.
going, though. Although I didn't enjoy them that year, but I enjoyed them this year, and they are good. They're delicious.
Pretty good.
Phenomenal.
Oh yeah, and I have to say, pumpkin pies. That was one other thing that we had growing up, where my mom would make so many pumpkin pies. I think it was 7 to 10, somewhere around there. She'd make a ton of pumpkin pies, and then we would eat them on Thanksgiving or Christmas or my dad's birthday, whatever it was. And then the next day, we were allowed to eat pumpkin pie for breakfast. And so we would go down and have a piece or two for breakfast, cold out of the refrigerator. And you think that's weird, right? You think it sounds a little weird?
No, I'm not. I don't think it's weird. The more I think about it, I mean, pumpkin pie, you're not going to heat it up. But
some people eat it warm.
I think it's the time of day. You would just go down at random hours and just grab a slice of pumpkin pie.
Yeah, in the morning.
I don't see you. You're not a sweets person, and you don't go goo gaga for desserts.
Just ice cream cone or
pumpkin pie.
Pumpkin pie
Gets you.
Oh yeah, I was at a little Halloween party with some friends, and she brought a big pumpkin pie, and immediately I was like, I have to have that. And then I had a piece after Thanksgiving the next day. My friend
Ginger,
who
you've
made
had a
the
piece
pie.
every day since Thanksgiving. I'm pretty sure.
Is that why I look like this? I'm kidding. It's pregnancy.
But you are eating for 2, so it's okay.
Oh yeah, that's true. It's good.
I love that you love pumpkin pie.
What do you like?
It's the only pie I like. Well, no, key lime pie. But I'll eat an apple pie or something. But what I really like is a key lime or an apple.
Pumpkin?
I mean, a pumpkin.
I like that. But what was your favorite food we had this year at Thanksgiving?
Yeah, so I can't just give you one, because what I do with the food is for me it's the mashup. So it's the
You could just throw it in a blender?
No, not like that, because it's the textures. So it's having the mashed potatoes with the turkey and gravy on top, and then you have the filling or the stuffing, and then you have the cranberry sauce, and then you have whatever else. So this year we had those different colored carrots, right? Mm-hmm. Whatever they were dish that was.
Yeah, they were carrots. That's what they were, multicolored carrots, right? Or root vegetables. Yeah,
diverse carrots were on the plate, and then I need a forkful of all of that combined. So I'm going for a piece of turkey, mashed potatoes, filling, and a bit of cranberry sauce in one bite.
Wow.
So for me, it's the amalgamation.
Sounds
of
a
the
little
foods.
gross to me, but
No, it's phenomenal. All right, anybody else who can relate to that? It's on Thanksgiving Day. It's all of it.
I mean,
you can't separate.
Okay, but the cranberry sauce in that bite.
Yeah, big time. With the gravy, big time.
That sounds so gross. It just sounds gross. I don't like cranberry sauce.
Well,
Let me
then
just
that's
say,
why
I
it
didn't even
sounds
get any.
gross.
Well, I didn't even get any cranberry sauce on my
Yeah.
plate. Probably shouldn't say that. Some people are going to be really upset about that, but
Get over it.
I don't know. I love almost any fruit. Not a picky eater,
Mhm.
but that is just something that I
Yeah.
don't get it. I don't get cranberry. I don't get cranberry juice. I get why some people have to drink it, but I don't get cranberry juice. Don't get it. I don't like that taste.
Yeah, too tart.
Yeah. I like tart stuff, but I don't like cranberries.
So the day was great. It was a great day. Let's talk about this. Obviously, Thanksgiving is a good opportunity to reflect on what we're grateful for.
Mm-hmm.
And really, Thanksgiving is the language of the Christian, in the sense of we have it. Well, if you just read the Bible and you see how often we're told to give thanks, even when we're suffering and we're asking God to deliver us from a painful trial or circumstance, we let our petitions be made known to Him. This is Philippians 4, with thanksgiving, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then the peace of God, which surpasses understanding, guards our hearts and minds in Christ Jesus. But whenever the Christian prays, gratitude is baked into that, because we recognize that what do we have that we haven't received, right? Like all those verses about there's nothing that we've been given that we have that hasn't been given to us.
Mm-hmm.
We understand that life and breath and everything comes from God, our Creator. So even the breath we've been breathing since doing this episode is a gift.
Mm-hmm.
And so we're just inherently, as Christians, we ought to be inherently thankful. And we have an object of our thanksgiving, which is God. It's funny hearing people talk about like thanking the universe.
Yeah.
This impersonal force.
That God created.
Well, in their minds.
No,
An impersonal
I'm
force.
just saying, yeah, not that, but I'm saying what God created. He created that, like the universe. He created all things, and it is so interesting. Like a lot of times we're watching a show, it's like they're in nature and they start thanking the earth, and it's like it is so sad to see, because here God has given all these things to enjoy, and you just overlook that. And
it's like if I gave a gift to Felicity on Christmas and then she starts thanking the gift wrap instead of the one who handed her the gift.
Yeah.
And so as Christians, we're a thankful people. So Thanksgiving is a time, just given its name, right, where we take time to give thanks. So talk about it. What are some things that are on your mind of Thanksgiving? What are you thankful for, Ginger Volo?
Well, there are lots of things. And I think that I feel like it can just be something that every time that question comes up, it can just feel so like you can go through all the main things that you would always say. Like, well, I'm thankful for my family. I'm thankful because I am thankful for you, the girls, for this baby on the way, and God's mercy and those things. And at the same time, I'm like, okay, thinking about like even deeper, like I'm so thankful for God's forgiveness and mercy upon us. Like that's something that we can so often just forget. Like as Christians, we just take it for granted and realize like, oh man, I'm just going about my day, and God is so kind, so gracious. He doesn't deal with us according to our sin. And even in that, like I will, have a harsh attitude. I won't be patient with my kids or with you, and all those things that God is so kind and merciful to forgive us for, and to just when He forgives us, just to give us that peace and joy back and restored, knowing that we can be right with Him in spite of all of our sin and all of those things, because of Christ, because of His sacrifice that He made on our behalf. We are seen as righteous and holy before God. So that's something that, every year I feel like the more that we grow, the more sin we see. And I'm just grateful for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, go ahead.
I was just going to say, recognizing that everything this side of hell is mercy.
Yeah.
And to be in a relationship, a right relationship with our Creator, forgiven, is the starting point of gratitude. Because before then, we aren't in a loving relationship with Jesus. And so who are we giving thanks to? But when we're made right because of his sacrifice, then we're reconnected with the one who's giving us all these gifts.
Yeah. And then from there, then you can enjoy even more your family, your friends, all these things that are given to you. You see it in a different light because it's like, it is such a mercy of God to give those things to you. It's nothing that you've done to deserve it,
It's good
to get it. And then you can fully love your family and those around you in a deeper way because of the love of Christ. And so, it's good. And then I'm so thankful for coffee because I love it. It tastes so good. It smells so good.
And you're back.
And I'm back on coffee. I can actually, this is something I'm very thankful for. So I had to be off caffeine, that is, for nearly a year. I've been off of caffeine, and just recently, in the past month or so, I've been able to do some half calf, and I've been feeling great.
It's rejuvenated you.
Yeah, I have to do that every so often. Go off of caffeine, come back on, but I still drink decaf in that time, even though it's not as good for you.
Yeah, but it's getting you through your day better.
I just love the taste of coffee.
And so I'm thankful for it as well. In your life, there's a place it has in your life.
You know, it's true. I will say this, and then I want to hear what you have to say. But my mom, there was one time where I went off of caffeine. I don't even know what my reasoning was. Maybe I thought I was too addicted to it. I really wasn't. But I went off of caffeine for a week. And I just remember one day, I was like probably 16. Came into my mom's room and I was just talking to her. I was like, I'm just so tired. She's like, why don't you get a cup of coffee? I was like, I'm trying to see if I can just not have any. Trying to see how long I can go without having it. She's like, I think you just need a good cup of coffee, Ginger. And I stopped crying after that because I felt great. I got my cup of coffee and I was like, okay, let's go do projects. Let's get stuff done. I felt great.
It's amazing how simple life is sometimes. We try to make it all complex and we're having a bad day or we're struggling with our attitude or whatever. And sometimes you just need to take a nap.
Yeah.
Or you need a cup of coffee or just eat lunch.
Yeah. Or just go outside and enjoy the sunshine.
Go outside for a minute.
There are some very basic things that we do overlook. Yeah. I'm with you on that. Okay. But what are you thankful for?
So I'm thankful for all the things as well. I'm thankful for the church, having a sweet church family to be connected to come alongside you in the good times and the tough times is invaluable. So I was thinking about that over the Thanksgiving week, just how incredible it is to be connected to a community. Everyone wants community. You talk about this in your book, People Pleaser. We were made for community, and so we long for it. And some people have a hard time finding it, and God has designed a sweet community in the church, and so I'm super thankful for the church. And then one thing I was thinking of, I was reading a book. Our friend Tom Askell just came out with a book for Christmas, like devotional thoughts through the Christmas season, and I'll link it below. I could not find it because it was on our coffee table. And it's this it's a really pretty looking book. It's pretty. Deep navy with gold lettering, and it's Christmassy. And so you can guess who got their hands on it.
So Evie took it. Jared was asking me today, where's the book? I want to read a section from it. And he couldn't find it anywhere. Evie took off with it. She loves Christmas. And anything that looks like Christmas, she calls it Bethlehem. And she goes, I need my Bethlehem. And so she carried the book with her. I saw her carrying it around. I think she took it with her, I thought, to the room, maybe to nap time one day. Gone. And now we can't find it.
I looked everywhere. I was looking under couches. So crazy. Sorry, Tom, I can't find the book.
But we'll plug it.
We'll plug it below. And it's good. It's good, like little Christmas devotional book. But anyway, the introduction, Tom tells a pretty famous parable from Christopher Wren, who was the architect commissioned to rebuild St. Paul's Cathedral in London after the Great Fire of 1666. I'm reading this. I found the parable on the phone. And what the reason I was thinking about this for Thanksgiving was I'm grateful for the opportunity to participate in what Jesus is doing in this world. And so this is how the parable goes. 5 years into this massive project, Christopher Wren stopped to pose a simple question to 3 bricklayers. What are you doing? He asked. The first replied, I am a bricklayer, working hard to feed my family. The second offered, I am a builder. I am building the walls of a church. The third answered, I am a cathedral builder. I am a part of building a kingdom. Their physical task was the same, but their perspective was vastly different. And Tom was making the point that as we enter this life, we can live life in a very humdrum, mundane way and not see significance in even the little things. But as a Christian who's been called by Christ to participate in his cosmic story of redemption, we've been given this incredible task to participate in that. So we are actually advancing the kingdom of Christ by sharing the love of Christ, by being Christ's hands and feet, by preaching the truth of Christ, by living the truth of Christ, by enjoying a relationship with Jesus. All of this is fulfilling the mandate we've been given to advance his kingdom, to make his glory known, to be image bearers of God. And as I was thinking about Thanksgiving, we actually have the opportunity to participate in what Jesus is doing in this world on a global scale. And that's special. That's like, there's weight and there's significance to that. There's meaning and purpose to your life.
Yeah.
When you wake up in the morning, it's not just about entertain yourself till dusk and then wake up and repeat again, or make as much money as you can to get the nicest stuff possible. No, you're actually participating in this cosmic purpose and plan of salvation and redemption. And that's really special. And so I'm grateful that we have the opportunity to participate in what Jesus is doing in this world. Whether it's a podcast like this where we talk about things, of Jesus, or share his truth in some way, or whether it's actively serving in the church or
in your community, like even with neighbors and people you run into at the store, just sharing the love of Christ with them, even by how you treat them and all of those things. Like, I think it is really incredible just in the day in and day out stuff. We feel like it's so mundane, but sometimes that's the biggest impact too, is just your life and people watching and seeing, okay, you say you love Jesus. Well, how do you treat others? And what is your actual purpose in life? And so I think that's awesome. That's so good, babe.
Yeah, it's reconnecting with the purpose of why we were made. Like, we were made to be image bearers of God, to reflect his glory in the world. And I think looking at really every generation can struggle with the depression and feeling like we're not significant. And you fly, land in Dallas, and you're looking out at all the millions of lights in all the homes and think, I'm just a speck in this world. I'm a speck. I'm a drop of water in one bucket of one city on this globe. What part do I have to play? What significance do I make? Well, in God's eyes, a huge part. He's commanded you, or called you, or created you, I should say, to glorify him. And that's by putting on display who he is and his goodness. And you do that simply by enjoying him. Yeah, certainly by speaking of him, but by enjoying a relationship with him and sharing his love and sharing his truth. We actually have a part to play in this cosmic story of redemption. Jesus overturning all the brokenness of this world. And I'm thankful for that, because I look at myself and I'm weak, I'm sinful, I'm prone to wander. Lord, I feel it. Prone to leave the God I love, like the hymn writer says, And yet the Lord still forgives, and he still draws us into usefulness. So I'm glad that the Lord sees his children as useful and gives them a task and a part to play.
I love that.
Even
That's
if even if I'm like on stage as the little tree, I'll play a part. I don't have to have a speaking role. I'll just be the tree in the corner on stage.
That's great. That's awesome.
So yeah, Thanksgiving is a lot to be thankful for. Thankful for you. I'm thankful for our little baby.
Thankful for you too. Yes.
Every night we're praying for that little baby to be safe.
Yeah. Last night, Felicity went to bed super late. And on a school night, that's just not smart, but we did it anyways. And she was about to doze off, and I prayed for her real quick. And then she said, Mom, you didn't pray for the baby. Pray for the baby. And then I prayed for like 2 seconds. And then she said, well, you didn't pray for the baby to come out safely. And so then I prayed again. And then she's like, good night. It was so sweet. She makes sure that every night we pray for little baby Volo.
Yeah, it is sweet. Oh, one thing we did on Thanksgiving that we didn't talk about.
What? What did we do?
So we've got some mountains behind our house. Not like mountains, but it's almost a mountain, right? Would you call that a mountain?
Yeah, it is. It's not like It's not like a little hill.
Yeah,
you had to hike it.
Yeah, my dad and I and our couple friends wanted to see what's on the other side of the mountain, and so we hiked up. Didn't realize there's barbed wire fences, so we got through them. I don't know how my dad got through them.
And just to be clear, it wasn't like you were trespassing, because I think that's actually like public property on the other side. Oh, it is
public property, yeah.
That barbed wire fence like blocks off our property and the public property.
Yes.
Yeah.
Good clarification,
Just going to throw that out there before people get upset.
I like it. But that barbed wire fence was barbed wire fence. And so my dad was like, okay, I'm good here. I'll head back. I said, okay. So me and a couple buddies kept going, just like pulled it tight and scooted over it. And then 10 minutes later, we're at the top, and here comes my dad.
There he is.
I said, Dad, how'd you get through the fence?
And it was cold. It was cold and windy. Cold, yeah. Very windy that day. So we were watching you guys hike up there. I thought about going, and then I was like, nah, I shouldn't. I really shouldn't do that, because last time I tried to climb up the back hill, it was so slippery. I felt like I was sliding everywhere. So you have to really wear like boots with traction.
We had boots on going. It was fun though. But you got to have something like that for
a little adventure, because you're like actually working off the food.
Yeah, you got to work off the turkey. And then the next day we had the dad turkey bowl.
That was fun.
That was great. Flag football.
Yeah, that was super fun.
I could not walk for a day afterwards. I had not worn cleats on a grass field for so long, and my feet were killing me.
I think you need to get your feet checked out. Like, he needs to go to a podiatrist. Like, that's
I'll go to a podiatrist,
because he's had issues with his feet, and I don't know if it's like you wear good shoes. That's
it just hurts. I think it's too much indoor soccer.
Yeah, I think it might be just like damage from your soccer.
Yeah, probably. But Turkey Bowl was wild. We won 10-7.
And tell him, okay, what did you do? You had a great interception or something?
You missed it.
I missed it because I was talking to friends. I had all these mom friends sitting there. We were chatting it up, and I was trying to make sure Evie would not run out on the field to like say hi to you. And then turned around, and I missed it. What happened? Okay. Tell us. Walk us through what happened, Jeremy. What happened?
Oh, no, it was just an interception. But I didn't know. At my age, you forget that you can dive around and
you can actually do that.
And yeah, you'll pay for it the next day, but
it was worth
fun.
it.
It was a lot of fun. You know what it was? I was thinking, like, feels like a Hallmark movie. You know, you have Thanksgiving Day, and then you go out and you play flag football.
It's a dream.
With the guys.
It's just a dream.
It was a nice Thanksgiving. It was a really sweet holiday.
It was.
But now we change gears because December 1st is Christmas. But maybe we'll talk about that next time.
I like it.
All right, guys. Well, thanks for hanging out. Thanks for checking out the new studio. It's getting there. I think every episode we might see progress on some things.
Yeah. It's exciting.
We'll plug Ginger's book in the description below, so you can check that out. You can pre-order today. Mm-hmm. And that's exciting. We'll be releasing some little tidbits here and there over the holiday season. And then subscribe, review. We'd love to hear from you.
Yeah, let us know anything you want us to talk about next time.
All right, guys. See ya.